Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, a great amount of welcomes to you to this incredible auction that we have here at Scotch Whisky Auctions, our 58th auction and another record breaker. Now the last week, well, we've been skirting around the 3,500 lot limit. That's been our record so far, but this month we have gone and smashed that record. In this month's auction you will find over 5,000 lots in which to peruse and pick out these wonderful whiskies, incredible drinking drams, rare bits of liquid history, investment bottles. But there's not just whiskey, there's port, there's bourbon, which is a type of whiskey, there's vodka. There's so much in this auction. It has been a spectacular, exciting way of getting rid of the January blues. The January blues are terrible things, but we have walloped them this month and absolutely set up one of the greatest auctions that we think has ever existed. It's absolutely fantastic. What I'm going to do this month is I'm going to take you through, as always, some of the exciting bottles in this auction. But again, these are going to have to represent many other bottles, because as you can imagine, we'd be here until way after the auction if I tried to go through 5,000 lots. So bear with me, we'll go through these, I'll give you an idea of what else that we have in this auction. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send you out a newsletter. Look at that, see the kind of bottles that we've got in here, and when we go live tomorrow, take your time, get in, pour yourself a dram, put on your favourite tunes, and just delve into this absolutely stellar, magnificent, Brobdingnagian auction that we have brought for you. So, on that massive word, we'll move to a massive heavyweight, one of the heavyweights of the whisky world, and it comes in our lovely heavyweight decanter. This is Glenfarclas. You know you like Glenfarclas, we know you like Glenfarclas, we like Glenfarclas. And this is a 50-year-old. It comes in this wonderful decanter, a very reassuring kind of resilient kind of strong box. It's a fabulous, fabulous lot. And the reason we've chosen this one here is because we have a lot of very, very interesting decanters in this month. Some rather esoteric ones from Wild Turkey, but we go right the way through into the more elegantly designed ones from Edinburgh Crystal. And the age of that whisky, 50 years in the cask. And that is a thing that you don't get very many of unless you come to Scotch Whisky Auctions, where we have loads of brilliant 50-year-old whiskies for you in this auction. Not just from Glenfarclas, but from distilleries all across Scotland. So once like I said, this is very much little things, just sparking ideas that hopefully you can choose something really special. Next up, in terms of really special, is a bottle from Bowmore, and this is the wonderful ship design label, the Sheriff's Bottlings. These whiskies are quite hard to get hold of, and the reason they're quite hard to get hold of is because people drank them, because they were damn good drams. Now this is a fantastic condition and well worth a look in the auction, but you're going to see quite a lot of these, again from Islay, from Speyside, these whiskies that are cropping up, and the reason people are looking out for them is because they're great drinking whiskies. They let you try these distilleries at some say their peak into the 1960s, all that kind of stuff. So have a look at these, because we want to taste the history. We want to try these things that you don't get a chance to try anymore. Next up, another heavyweight distillery, and it's Macallan. And it's a 1951. We've had this on the vlog before, and I know that you've said that, but the reason I chose this one here is it is a wonderful, wonderful whisky. And Macallan this month is spectacularly well represented. We have whiskies from their photographer serial, from Mario Testino, from Elliot Urwitt. We have Rankin bottlings as well. We also have two Macallan M's and another Cavalcade from independent bottlers. These are wonderful, wonderful distilleries. One of the great heavyweights, it's got to be the Rolls Royce that they project themselves. A chance to try that distillery from a different view, from a different angle, and also buy something for the future, lay something down for children, I don't know. But next up we have another cracking bottle. And talking about, I'm a big fan of independent bottlers because they give you a chance to look at a distillery from a different angle. We've obviously got the product that they want to put out, but this maybe allow you to a wee bit of a skewed view at one of your favourite distilleries. And this is from the Signatory, and this is an Ardbeg which was distilled in 1967. Now the Ardbeg 10-year-old is one of those jams, it's just got to be in your house, it's got to be on your shelf because it's stonking. But this, as you can see from the colour, is a very, very different view of that great distillery. Distilled in the 1960s and kept in the cask drawing all that colour, all that flavour into it. Next up, lost distilleries. Now, Port Ellen is one of those great island distilleries again, lost to us, so the spirit is rare and hard to get hold of. Now, most of us will know Port Ellen from the special releases or older bottlings where you get that venerable age from the cask and it's time by the sea and all the rest of it. This one comes from Cadenhead, another independent bottler, and it gives you a chance to look at it from a different view because this is a young, spiky little Port Ellen. This is 15 years old, but it's been bottled at 62.8%, so it has some oomph behind it. I would maybe need this for my throat, as you know, a little bit hoarse at the moment. Numbing effect, but this is a great chance to look at how the distillery operated before it was closed, before those casks were given time to gently mould the spirit and do what casks do best. This gives you a chance at a young, punchy Port Ellen. Continuing this theme of views, different views of distilleries. Here's a Bruichladdich. This is bottled for Jack Weavers, the German independent bottler, and this is 32 years old Bruichladdich. And again, the colour of this, again, it's called Bowmore. We called it black Bowmore. It's a really, really dark sherry butt. And Bowmore, that light, non-peated Isle of whiskey, you're thinking of something light and delicate and fragrant. This is an entirely different way of looking at this thing. An entirely different whiskey to drink, and well worth a shot. We've been doing very well in the last week, and the distillery that has come and given us so much excitement here is Kurosawa. We've done really, really well with it over the last week. While prices worldwide have been shooting all over the place, and this one here is one of the hardest to get hold of. It's one of only 22 bottles released. Now, if you think of the feather that creeps up around this distillery, this one is what I'm holding onto a little bit tighter than usual. One of only 22 bottles from that distillery. Next up, we have a bit of a left field turn, a bit of a left turn at the traffic lights, because I'm going to something which is quite different. This is Prince's Ale. Now, this is beer that was brewed back in the 1920s. Prince George, like his grandfather, decided he wanted to get involved in the mashing, so very excitingly he flew from London to Burton-on-Trent to be involved in the mashing for this beer. What his involvement seemed to be was turning the tap to let the water in for the mash, but this has been described by some as a holy grail of beer. So that's a really, really wonderful big bottle. And last, but by no means least, we have Glenlivet, the first distillery to become legal in the Highlands, and this wonderful kind of rocket-shaped Art Deco, just a fantastic image for this bottle. But also, this was distilled in 1940. So when the war was going on, this was distilled and created, and then it slept for 45 years before being poured into this. I love this bottle, I really, really do. It's a fantastic way of, it doesn't look like normal Glenlivet. It's wonderful, and it was, and it just brings to the end of our auction. I wish I could show you more. I wish I could take you around and take you through all the bottles that we have. But you're busy people, and I've still got an auction. We've got to get sorted out. So please, get in. When we go live tomorrow, get in. Have a look around, because there are just so many wonderful whiskies that we haven't been able to find. There's a 40-year-old Ardbeg. I didn't get a chance to put that in the vlog. There's all these wonderful, great whiskies out there. This is a very limited amount of this record-breaking auction. So ladies and gentlemen, without any more further ado, Scotch Whisky Auctions, don't lose your bottle.